They have a nice mix.
Here is our tale of the tape. 24-year-old Reagan Castillo and David Garcia, 26 years old. Just a 1-inch height advantage for Castillo. At 5'6" is Garcia, 5'7". Castillo both weighing in at 135 pounds. You heard Kelly mention the record, 1-0 for Castillo, 3-4 in the amateur ranks for David Garcia. And here is cage announcer Mike Kendall.
Fight fans, this contest is scheduled for three 3-minute rounds in the MCF Bantamweight division. Brought to you tonight by Pathology Services, providing all of the blood lab work for all these fighters here tonight and coming in clutch on a couple of our fights this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of Lavander's Body Shop blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5'7", weighing in 136.6 pounds. He holds an amateur record, 1 win, 0 defeats. Training independently, but fighting out of North Platte, Nebraska, Reagan Castillo. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the White Tail Cycle Sport red corner, is a freestyle fighter standing 5'5", weighing in 136.6 pounds. He holds an amateur record, 3 wins, 4 defeats. Representing Vicious Cycle Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and fighting out of North Platte, Nebraska, David Garcia. Referee Rob Lewis.
And there we go. Fight introductions underway are out of the way. I mentioned the new gym earlier in North Platte. That, of course, Vicious Cycle Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which David Garcia been training in. Here we go. Underway. Castillo in the black trunks, Garcia in the blue.
Like I said, it's going to be a kick fest, but it's going to be an exciting kick fest.
That's right.
I think David will mix some hands in there pretty good. But he's got powerful leg kicks. When he goes to throw, man, it's going to crack.
Both fighters so far throwing strikes with the hand. There we see an attempt at a leg kick by Castillo.
Yeah, Castillo has, I was going to say, he has the flashy kicks, but he drops his hands really bad.
2 high kicks by Castillo, both blocked by Garcia, but now a guillotine attempt here for Castillo. Looks like he might have it in, Kelly Wiseman.
Yeah, he's got to get legs locked.
Yes, he's not unable to
finish it off from the side. No, David's in no trouble.
And there we go. Garcia spinning to safety now, inside control on Castillo. Just underway, round number 1 in this amateur bout, our 4th on the card tonight at Midwest Championship Fighting 23. Salute to Vets 2 at the DNN Event Center in North Platte, Nebraska. I'm Scott Carlson.
Watch he doesn't get full mount, because he's going to get full mount and he's going to be in trouble being stuffed in that corner. Like that.
Got the legs tied up and just trying to pull Castillo off that cage a little bit so he can slide up into mount, right, Kelly Wiseman?
Well, all you do is you run his head right up that cage, and then it's really close when you start dropping bombs on it.
Right. Garcia in the blue trunks now fully mounted on Castillo.
What's going to happen right here? If David just needs to relax.
Oh, wow, a nice reversal by Castillo.
Dave got a little high, and broke his position a little bit, but Reagan, well, he was just waiting to transition for that explosion there. So
we'll have to look back at that, but it was almost like Garcia attempted to stand up to improve his position, and Castillo took advantage of that.
He may have been looking to go for an armbar there too, but Castillo exploded through it pretty well.
1 minute and 16 seconds remaining here in round number 1.
David's doing a good job. He's going to try to sneak out and take his back. And this is where Castillo needs to be careful dealing with the experience of David.
Now under a minute to go, round 1. A nice elbow thrown there by Castillo in the half guard.
This is where David's starting to work his way out. He's starting to work his way out the side there, and he's going to end up.
He's in full guard. I apologize. Sliding into the full guard now. Garcia keeping control, preventing Castillo from posturing up and landing any damaging strikes.
Yeah, but I mean, he's trying to get out. He's trying to get off his back. Castillo's not really doing anything but just holding him there. But he's looking for an arm bar here, or he's going to sweep him, or even maybe go for a leg lock, try to get a heel hook.
May have a submission attempt here by Garcia.
Yeah.
Back into full guard.
Now you're going to be looking at a triangle. Triangle is going to be set up there if Castillo's not careful.
So we have 13 seconds here to go, round number 1. So running out of time for either one of these fighters to do anything at this point.
David's going to try for a sweep. He needs to drive. Oh, he came close to finishing that.
And that will do it for round number 1. And I tell you, the story of it was kind of what we expected. 2 fighters who we knew were kick strikers, but they had to show off their ground game a little bit.
Well, I mean, David clearly a little more versed on the ground, a little more busy, and Castillo was just kind of holding on. But he wasn't putting
Jones
himself
Law.
in a position where he was
The
out
Dean
of
Event
balance.
Center,
so.
thank you very much for hosting all of these MCF events.
Talk about the energy. Garcia in that guard was holding the body of Castillo, trying to prevent him from posturing up, expending energy doing that, even though he's on his back on the bottom, right?
Yeah, you do. You expend a lot of energy when you're trying to do that, when you're holding on, but he's working the whole time. I mean, that's just some basic jiu-jitsu, so it wasn't. That's what he does every day in the gym, so that wasn't going to hurt him too much. Castillo was probably burning more energy than anybody trying to hold him there the whole time. He's not doing anything, he's just holding him. He's not trying to better his position. He's not trying to, get mount. He's not trying to get, half guard. He wasn't trying to do anything. So, he's the one that's expending more energy.
Some attempts, some submission attempts, I guess you could say, by both fighters. Garcia attempting to set himself up for a leg bar. Castillo, a guillotine attempt, although Garcia positioning his body and defending against that. Here we go, round number 2. Garcia in the blue trunks, Castillo in the black.
And we'll be right back to the kick show, I hope. Because I want to see David land a really hard kick.
Nice jab by Garcia.
There's the hard kick. Now he's starting to find his range a little bit. Watch a spinning kick here. He's setting up for something.
Kick to the body by Garcia.
Yeah. He's one thing he can. There you go. He's one of those guys that's got power in both legs. I said you got to be careful. You drop in your hands like Castillo is, you're going to get caught. You want to keep your hands up.
Right, I was going to say, really no defense there of his face by Castillo. If that would have landed, it could have been trouble. Garcia missing, though, with the spin.
Yeah, I'd like to see David work his hands a little bit and then crack the legs and then come back with the hands. Castillo drops his hands to his waist when he goes to throw something. And you counter him right there, he's going to go to sleep.
And a takedown for Garcia in the half guard of Castillo.
Okay, this is where he wants to calm down and just start working. Just start peppering him. Just start elbowing. Just punish him. Don't get wild and try to get that mount real fast because he's pinned up against the cage and it's tough to do much. So just keep punishing him right there. Just
under 2 minutes here, round number 2 in this amateur bout at Midwest Championship Fighting 23. Salute to Veterans 2. Garcia trying to prove his position.
Nice.
This is where we saw Castillo escape, though, last time.
He's crafty. He's crafty. He's slippery. But you're going to see David working for an arm bar here. Oh.
Weird
twist. He was trying to get it to like a Chimera Americana. But, there's transitions here for triangles and arm bars, but he's got to get that other leg out.
Not controlling the body of Castillo is Garcia as he attempts that arm bar. As Castillo now out and in a loose half guard of Garcia. Nice elbow landed by Castillo.
All David has to do is just stand up. Just walk up the wall and stand up because Castillo doesn't have a lot of power. He's not well-versed in submissions enough to catch you in something. But you allow yourself to sit against that cage, you're going to allow elbows. So there you go. Nice job there.
And again, it has the neck of Garcia, does Castillo, as he's still just sitting in that half guard, not really threatening him with the guillotine, just control.
Somebody was holding on to the cage. The ref was pulling hands out of the cage.
Now Garcia, a guillotine attempt of his own, see if he can kick out and sink that in.
I think I'll just use a head and arm, just kind of drag him down. Yep, there you go. And just look for that rear naked, which is going to end if he stays calm.
Garcia attempting to get that rear naked choke sunk in.
Yeah, Castillo isn't going to be able to stop that. It's over. It's over. He's going to be tapping.
There he goes. He has it locked in now. Throwing some strikes. Does not feel like he has it under that chin, Kelly Weisman. Just trying to soften him up a little bit more.
I just roll him over where you can arch and dig in harder because you're going to allow him
10 seconds remaining. Round number 2 as Garcia stretches Castillo out.
He's going to go to sleep if he doesn't tap.
He looks out, and no. Is he out? He's definitely loopy at the end of that, but not out. He'll survive.
If you didn't have respect for this Castillo kid before, you do now.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. And as you mentioned, we saw him in our private show, the Barn Brawls, this past summer. And he was, I tell you what, an impressive kid in the cage.
I've seen more polished fighters tap in that position. So my hats off to that guy. I'm not taking my hat off for real, but my hat's off figuratively.
On now to our third and final round.
Of course, no one cornering Castillo, so coach
nobody knows what they're doing anyway. I mean,
right. I'm not sure if because in between last round, nobody brought him a stool or water or anything. I think this is a coach from another team, though.
But he's got the Scully on, so he looks the part.
He does. Mickey. Hit him in. Get the win, Mickey. Get the win for Mickey. Anyway, here we go. We're going to go into round number 3. It looked like maybe Garcia was going to end it there, Kelly Wiseman.
Yeah, he had that rear naked set in deep, but he can't get him flattened out. Couldn't get him rolled over enough to get that finish. But props to Castillo for fighting through it.
Yeah, definitely a tough kid and did not tap, as it looked like he was about to go to sleep there right at the end of the round. And here we go. Both fighters ready, and round number 3 underway. David Garcia in the blue trunks and his opponent Reagan Castillo in the black.
I was going to say, this is where David needed to let his hands
nice
go.
knee to the body and then one to the face.
And he just needs to stay on and keep those knees coming. Those knees are going to take the wind out.
A double leg takedown by Garcia.
This will just drop bombs, just punish him a little bit, but he wants to stay calm and not get too loose and give up a position.
Castillo just trying to stave him off as Garcia moves into side control.
And then he's taking over to full mount, but he wants to relax.
Nice elbow.
Start dropping some bombs. That'll get stopped if you keep landing elbows like that. It's over. Castillo isn't going to.
Garcia trying to finish, and that will do it.
Another one for that ref. Man, that ref is amazingly just on it. He just gets in there and stops it. By the time you catch your 100th punch, man, he's going to be in there and stop that fight for you.
And again, another fight stopped due to those strikes. David Garcia getting mount, had the back for a moment, and then here we go, Kelly Wiseman, as we go to our replay.
Yeah, and just before he threw that, I was going to tell him he needs to let his hands go because Castillo was dropping his hands to his waist. And that's what he did. He got real aggressive, threw good hands, closed the distance, backed against the cage, dropped some good knees in, then just settled down for that double leg.
He did. That double leg takedown was what was the nail in the coffin for Reagan Castillo. There you see it in the replay, and nice knees to the body setting it up.
Yeah. No, it was he did a good job there. That's how you have to finish it. Give him a lot to deal with at the end.
All right, as I'm
not sure what's going on, but with this ref and the way he stops stuff, who knows?
All right, here we go. Here is MCF cage announcer Mike Kendall coming into the cage as David Garcia heads to the center, and here comes Reagan Castillo. Let's make this thing official. Here's Mike Kendall.
Top of the fight. 45 seconds into the third and final round, declaring a winner by tap out due to strikes, David Garcia.
David Garcia moves to 500, 4-4 in his mixed martial arts career as an amateur. And I tell you what, David Garcia, we knew both of these guys like to kick. David Garcia using those kicks to kind of set up some of his other skills.
Yeah, in the first couple of rounds, he was just, he wasn't really closing the distance with his hands, He needed to close it with his hands. And once he did, it was game on.
Yeah, there you see in the replay, just landing those strikes, punches in bunches to end this fight, and a tap coming from Reagan Castillo.
Yeah, that's a tap from strikes. Like I said, I'll give Castillo props.
Yeah,
he looked really good in the first 2 rounds.
Definitely 3 rounds. They battled it out, and Castillo almost went to sleep at round number 2. Didn't tap though in the rear naked choke. Was toughing it out, and as you mentioned, earned respect, I think, in the cage tonight in Reagan Castillo.